What's up, everybody? It's Alex from Heavy New York. We are back at the Brooklyn Bazaar, and today we return after nearly 2 years with Wormwitch. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I gotta say, the new album, Heaven That Dwells Within, is absolutely awesome. You just want to give a rundown on how the making of this record was and the record cycle thus far with it?
The making of the record is interesting, actually. Kind of started on the day that we played New York.
Yep.
On that Black Dahlia tour.
Really?
Yeah. Because that tour we were playing a new song that was going to be on this record. Or what this record was going to be. And we hated it. We hated playing it live. So that day, actually, after we did an interview with you, we ended up going to a park and talking about it. And that was when we started laying the groundwork for the sort of change in direction that we wanted to take.
Okay.
So the actual process started almost immediately after that tour. We started writing songs and scrapping songs, and we scrapped all the songs that we had written up to that point. And yeah, from there on, it was kind of Colby wrote most of the songs, kind of from like the beginning, and we would get like a rudimentary version of it from him, and then we would all work on it to kind of add or change parts and give our input. And yeah, the recording process itself was sweet. I don't know if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, the recording process was cool. We did it definitely in the first record. The first one we kind of did beds off the floor and added everything else on over top. This one it was a much more kind of segmented, compartmentalized experience. We did the drums in a certain studio. We did everything else in a different studio, that kind of thing. So it was different, but it worked out well.
Yeah.
You mentioned this was a change in sound, so you don't really just consider this a direct follow-up to Strike Levels.
Not at all, no.
This is its own entity.
Not much.
Definitely an evolution. Just like it was time to pick what we wanted the band to do, sort of. And even still, I don't feel like we're there. We're already talking about which way it's going to go for the next album.
But you mentioned that you wrote a couple songs and you like completely scrapped it. You ever worried that like the songs you crop out are going to be on like a B-side record or just be the biggest hit you guys ever had?
No, because we get rid of songs because we just have that filter of quality, and if it doesn't pass through, you don't want to use it. You know, I feel as though when we write a record, it's all about filtering out the things we don't want, more so than finding the things we do want. And sometimes the whole song that we end up not wanting, and that's just not high enough quality for us.
Now, since we also last spoke, you brought in a fourth member to Wormwitch. Did bringing in a fourth member allow you guys to enhance your live presence a little bit or bring in some newer elements as well?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, we didn't have a second guitar player before, so we were limited to certain things creatively. I mean, he didn't play on the record, except just knowing that we have another guitar live means that we can just do a lot more with melody and also just a much bigger live sound, you know.
Yeah, we wrote the album with having two guitars live. So, you know, the first record, we knew that we were just like a three-piece, so the guitars are just kind of doubled up. Yeah, there's just lots more. Adding one guitar adds so much. Just as far as melody goes, especially because we went in a melodic direction.
Yeah. Do you think by going in a more melodic direction, further experimenting with your sound, kind of like two questions in one, but do you think you could bring the attention of a wider audience and maybe could allow you to experiment with more different sounds in the future?
I've never really considered like who's listening to it when I decide what I'm doing. Like especially for this band, it's more like what am I listening to and what do I care about. Melodic stuff, I mean, like lends itself more to storytelling, which I'm a big fan of, and yeah, just transmitting emotions. I mean, I like chromatic scale, crazy shit, and whatever, but. Yeah, we weren't really considering who's going to pay attention to the album or if that will make it more accessible or not. It was really just, I want to be able to deliver intense emotional experiences in addition to, you know, aggression or whatever.
Yeah. Awesome. And the final question I wanted to ask you guys, and I saved the most difficult question for last, and I want you both to elaborate on this because everybody has a different answer. How do you guys know when a song is done? Because I notice a variety of different song lengths on Heaven That Dwells Within, so.
When you feel closure about it, I guess, because a song. I mean, the cliche answer is a song's never done. You just choose when to release it, right? But I think at a certain point, you just kind of know when it's not going to get any better. It's just going to get different.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, I never used to think about this kind of stuff when I was writing songs growing up. It was just sort of write the song, and I would think more about like the lyrics, and like if I've told or if I've made my point or not. And sometimes you can make a point in 20 seconds, you know? And yeah, I mean, now I think a lot more about theory and rising tension and release and all sorts of things like that. And you know, I want to have a certain climactic moment in the song, and then like closure, and think about the story. But yeah,
We also we also write songs kind of front to back. Like we don't really just kind of compile riffs together. We write an intro first, then we write the next part until it ends. So it's kind of easy to come to a point where it's like this is the end of the song because you've seen the progression of it.
Also, there's really not much improvising. Like when you're writing something, you're writing and knowing this is the intro, this is the chorus.
Yeah,
this is
more or less. Yeah,
that's very that seems very difficult. Is there like a certain mode depending on what type of part you're writing in? Like if you're doing the chorus, it's a different.
Yeah, well, see, it's not really difficult for us or myself personally. I don't want to put words in anyone else's mouths, but for me, that imposes a little bit of a limit, which I think helps. You know, like if I set out, I'm going to write the intro now. I just decide before I touch a guitar how I want the song to start, and that's parameters that help me fill that void. So then, you know, and as the song goes on, it's like now I want this to be a heavy part, and so I write something within those parameters that I think will fit, and if it fits, then that's the part.
Yeah.
That's a very because like you don't want to limit yourself. No artist does, but at the same time, you don't want to be completely directionless. Otherwise, you'll be working on the same thing forever.
Exactly, or you'll just be a disjointed hodgepodge and never have any sort of direction.
And another thing too is like with songwriting, I think just to add on to when is a song done, I think a song in an album that's being written by a band, you want to have like a sound that is the band's sound, but you also you want your songs each to have an identity, so that you can't just like lift a riff from one song and drop it in the other song and there's fucking no difference at all. So you want the album to have an identity, but you also want each song to have its own identity, so there's a reason to listen to each song, and you have different movements throughout the album and things like that. So I always try and think of those things when the song's identity is complete. When it's like this is a song that has its own thing, it fits within.
It stands on its own as a piece of music.
It stands on its own as a piece of music, but also fits within the greater picture. Then it's a finished song.
Gotcha. I would say out of all the bands I've interviewed, that was the best answer I've ever gotten for that. So thank you guys so much for your time. Is there anything else you want to promote for the Heaven That Dwells Within record cycle? This will be uploaded by midnight, so
you want to promote. We're on tour right now, so come to a show in the States.
Buy a t-shirt.
Yeah. Buy a compact disc. Buy a LP. Buy a CD.
Where's that?
So poetic.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Just do it, check it out, listen to the album, or don't buy it.
Or don't.
And don't come to a show.
Or don't come.
Don't come. Actually, please don't come to a show.
Stay the fuck away.
Don't come to a show.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. Everybody, we are here with Wormwitch after 2.5 long years. Be sure to pick up Heaven That Dwells Within if you haven't already. This is Alex from Heavy New York. We'll see you next time.